Momocon Day 2. The date was Friday, May 27th, 2022. I remember I had to wake up pretty early that morning since I was going to be at a panel at 11:30 a.m. DJ Smell was in the Uber with me, and because we rushed to get to the con that morning, we both forgot our badges.
Look at us, day 2 of Momocon. We already forgot our badges. Yahoo! Yatta!
Luckily for us, Charlie had 2 extra badges and lent them to us so that we can get into the con.
Sorry about that, man. We both looked at each other and we're like, oh, we forgot both of our passes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
After that, they both headed to Charlie's autograph session, and I headed to the panel for sound check.
Check.
Hello?
Yo. Check.
The panel was called Making Music Online in 2022. And originally, I thought it was going to be just me, Oreo, Lalia, and Sleeping Forest. But to my surprise, there were a lot of people assigned to the panel too.
Let's go down the panel and say everyone's name and one thing they did last summer. Jules.
My name is Jared. I go by the drummer online.
My name is Jordan. I also go by Sleeping Forest as my moniker.
Hello everybody, I'm Oreo.
Hi, I go by Genuine Online.
Hi, my name is Jane, or Little Jane Cakes on YouTube.
My name is Jack. I go by Toxic X Eternity.
Family Jules was leading most of the panel, and we ended up talking about a lot of different things, from the business of music to how copyrights work. He also brought out some pretty good points about gear and equipment when it comes to making music.
One thing that we're always asked whenever we do panels like this is, I want to make music, but I'm waiting until I have this $5,000 interface or like a really good microphone. And I mean, it sounds obvious, but don't wait. Like literally every moment that you wait, not only are you missing out on, the successes that you want to make, you're gonna suck in the beginning. I'm sorry, so get that out of the way as fast as possible by sucking on whatever you have. You just gotta suck right on it.
Yeah. Dude, my first mic was a webcam, and I thought I was really smart, but I put a sock over it as a pop filter. That's what you guys should do. Hey, it worked. Put reverb on it. 10 out of 10.
We got all that.
It's true, and surprisingly, works pretty well.
Yeah, I used a Guitar Hero mic.
I wanted to say that, I used the Rock Band mic.
USB mic.
Yeah, I think stuff like that, it helps you understand and appreciate what you have as you go on. Don't be intimidated by gear, but also don't make it stop you from making what you love to make. I think the most important thing is to make sure you have fun.
Yeah.
Because you can only push yourself doing something you don't like for so long. I think it's more important for you to love what you do and have fun with it.
One other memorable moment of the panel was when Jules kept saying genuine. That was pretty funny.
I think what's so important is you'll find friends, and not all the friends are going to be the best at this, but the friends who genuinely want you to succeed are going to be the best people to get advice from. And the best way to find the friends who genuinely want you to succeed is find people that genuinely you want to succeed. So, highly genuinely.
Yeah.
Hashtag genuinely.
And after an hour of talking and Q&A, the panel was done.
Thank you everybody for coming.
After that, we all headed our own ways to get lunch, and I ended up going with Silverhound so he can get his coffee. While he was getting his coffee and his lunch, he also got me a water bottle, and that was really nice of him.
Here you go. That's what
Oh, thank you, dude.
And I'll get it.
Oh, too kind, man. Thank you. Oh, you big time.
Kindness goes a long way.
Oh, fair.
Everybody works hard. Everybody deserves a little bit of kindness every once in a while. Nothing to soften you up too much, but just enough to remind you that people are still human.
Oh, you don't have to remind me about that.
We ended up staying at that Starbucks for an hour and just talked. We talked about all sorts of things, from music to how life was going. Time passed by so fast that I forgot I haven't eaten lunch yet.
We're having such a great conversation. I forgot about time. I forgot about food for a second.
Was it 2:05?
Soon, we made our way back to the CNN Center so I could go get lunch. After that, we went our own separate ways to the con. I decided to explore the exhibit hall for a little bit and ended up getting myself a few things.
And we're done.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
The rest of the day was a combination of going to panels and going around the exhibit hall all by myself. I ended up staying at that convention until almost midnight. But once I was done checking out the convention, I took an Uber back to the Airbnb to drop off my stuff.
All right, well, hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Just got out of a con.
Yeah, what con is it?
It is Momocon. It's an anime gaming convention. I don't know if you've been picking up people and dropping them off here recently.
I have not.
I ended up talking to the Uber driver all the way home. And he was so nice that he was willing to wait for me to take me to the party that I was going to go to after.
Right. I will be right out.
That Uber, super nice. Holy moly, he's a great guy to talk to. We love people like that.
Once I dropped off my con merch and got new batteries for my recorder, it was time to head to the party.
Oh, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Getting to talk to the Uber driver was really nice. It made time go by faster and I was having a great time. And of course, I couldn't help myself but ask the most cliche questions.
I'll be cliche. What's your weirdest, funniest Uber story?
I guess my favorite would be I had these two girls in the back seat. They were probably late 20s, early 30s. And they were just talking amongst themselves and not even acknowledging me. And one of them brought up going to the doctor. And the doctor was saying something about not needing an HIV test, but needed to do a hepatitis test.
Oh.
And the other girl's like, oh, is that like when a bat bites you? And the other girl corrected her and said, no, that's tetanus. And it's like one of those moments like, we're f***ed. I mean, like this is, these are future leaders of America. I don't know, it's like, oh my God.
I love that statement. Oh my God.
But yeah, it took everything to hold my tongue and just finish the ride and just get him out of my car.
Would you also consider that to be your most memorable story, or is there a different story that's more memorable?
Well, it's that one, or there was a couple that maybe late 40s, early 50s that got in the car, and they had been like at a friend's house or something drinking, and then got in the car, and then they were talking, and then the woman said something, the man snapped back, and the woman's like, we just need to get a divorce.
Oh.
And so for this 10-minute ride, they decided that they're getting a divorce. I'm like, what the f***? Like, y'all need to talk at home, not in my car. This is the whole evolution of a marriage crumbling.
Oh my God.
In a 10-minute ride. Like, great.
Your car has made history, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That Uber ride is going to be in the books for the most memorable ride I've had in a while.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. It was a pleasure. And have fun this weekend and safe travels back, man.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a wonderful Uber ride. Holy crap. Everything was wonderful. It was great. I really wish him the best. I will say, I really wish him the best. But yeah, I'm about to head to a party. We'll see how it goes.
I walked into the party and it was still going on strong. It was really nice to get to talk to a lot of people that I've met on the first day of Momocon, but in a more relaxed setting. Later on that night, a lot of people headed upstairs to play werewolf, but I decided to stay in the backyard and enjoy the view for a little bit just to get some air. And it turns out, I wasn't the only one.
Anything you want to say to the world?
You already have a no. You can only get a yes. My grandma taught me that one.
Aww. What's the backstory of that one, actually?
Well, it was passed down to my mom from my grandma. And so whenever I had a fear of rejection or something, she'd always quote my Oma and say, you already have a no, you can only get a yes. Because it's like you already have what you can't get. You can only get something more. We're already living in what we don't already have. We already have the feeling of, I don't have this, I don't have that. There's all these different things that I wish I had in this moment. But the thing is that you already are living in that moment. You're already living in the moment of, I don't have X or Y. But there's always a chance you can get Y or X. Like, that's on the horizon. You just need to go out and catch it. And even if you don't catch it, you already lost it. It's like another expression that I really like. The bowl is already broken. What that means is that it's literally like when you take a dish and you drop it accidentally and it's broken. But the thing is that it was already going to break at some point. Disasters are already always a possibility and can happen. But just because they can happen doesn't mean you have to live in the disaster. It's part of being present. It's part of being in the moment now and being like, I am in this moment of happiness. I am going to let myself enjoy it. Let yourself enjoy being alive right now. Give yourself the freedom to be in the moment and enjoy every part of being here.
So it's like if you're always thinking about potentially breaking the bowl, you'll never truly appreciate the bowl being intact.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta let yourself live. You gotta let yourself be happy. You gotta let yourself enjoy the moment. You gotta let yourself be here. Think about what you want right now. Think about where you are in this moment. Be present in your body. Be present in this moment. The more you're on edge about tomorrow, the less you are here today. And then your future steals your today, and you don't want that. What you want is for your today to feed into your tomorrow in the most positive way possible. And the most positive way to do that is to be here for yourself right now and pay attention to what you need. Where that means you need friends right now, where that means you need to be alone right now, where that means you need to do X, Y, or Z. And I learned about this recently. Friends in like various places have told me about this thing called FOMO, which I learned is the fear of missing out.
Yes.
And that's something, especially at conventions and at social gatherings, is a thing that many people feel. And I'm sure lots of people at home are feeling that right now who are like seeing conventions and stuff like that happening. They're feeling, I'm missing out. I am not there. And so therefore, all these connections and memories are being made without me. And I can understand how that gets wrapped up, but then that poisons your mind. That thinking eventually poisons everything you touch. When you start spiraling down like that, the best way to combat it is to get present. And getting present means, okay, where am I right now? What can I do in this moment right now that can help me feel better? And when you think about that and you start doing that, that's when you can be like, okay, so I do this step, and then you do the next step, and then you do the next step. And as you keep thinking about it and you keep taking those small little steps, you start taking more and more steps towards what you really want in life. Stop, step back. What are you doing right now? What do you need? You don't need to be in all these different places at once. No one can have everything. Don't feel like you have to chase this dream or this untangible thought, because while they can become realities, in that moment, they're only thoughts. And give yourself permission to let those thoughts go. That's part of the practice of meditation, is like when you have thoughts that come into your head, you acknowledge that they're there, but you don't have to act in it, or you don't have to feel like you dwell on it and lead down these paths. You just acknowledge that that thought's there, and you let it go. Free yourself from having to be in all these different things at once.
That's so nice to hear, honestly.
Soon, we headed back inside and went upstairs to see how everyone was doing with their game of werewolf. And once they were done, Chi-Chi gave a really heartfelt speech.
I'm glad that after literal years of being apart, being on those shores of loss, loneliness, grief, and stress, that in a moment we can all come together and that I can physically stand here and see all of your faces. And we can share this feeling of happiness and love with everybody. I feel such unbridled joy and pride standing here to know that we can all be in a moment like this. And I hope with these moments that we share here, that we take them wherever we go. That's what I want.
After that, Will also had a speech too.
As the host of the house, etc., like I hoped that this would bring people together as well, along with Chloe and Swiblet and everybody who's like contributed to all of this. Has been nothing shy of like long and stressful, but it's worth it. Like that stress was so fucking worth it in the end, and you're all always welcome in my heart, and I hope to God that you all have that best moment and that memory to go home with you forever and a day. So, thank you.
That night ended on a really wholesome note. And because it was getting late, We all had to go home to make sure we had enough rest for the next day of Momocon. So we all said our goodbyes and headed home. And that was the end of Momocon, day 2. That is the end of Momocon day 2. Yeah. On to the next day, day 3.